Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
The following is a Red Apple Podcast Network presentation.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Welcome to Dominic Carter's podcast. This is Dominic Carter's City Hall. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Red Apple Podcast Talk Radio 77 WABC. You can listen to me, Dominic Carter, Sundays at 11 p.m., weeknights at midnight. Truck drivers say to Trump, "We got your back. We got your back." This is my podcast. Let's go.
Keep on trucking, baby. I got to keep on trucking.
Some Trump-loving truckers say they are refusing to drive to New York City after his $355 million civil fraud ruling. Of course, such a move would drive up costs ultimately for us, the consumer, should such a broad move take place. We spoke to one trucker, Mike from New Jersey. I, for one, have always been interested in the lifestyle of a truck driver moving goods all over the country.
Hey, I wanted to give you a little report. I run up and down the turnpike pretty much every night, 6 days a week, 6 nights a week. And I noticed tonight especially, the rest areas are filled up with tractor trailers. And I pulled up and got a cup of coffee up at the Vince Lombardi, and the guys are at the fuel pumps talking to other drivers, telling them, trying to shame them from going into New York. The trucks are lined up along the rest areas. I can't believe it. So the people of New York, they can think whatever they want, that, truckers don't mean anything. But I'm telling you, we are strong. We care about this country. And what's happening is a shame. It really is. And we have to stop it. Dominic, do you know it costs $124 for a tractor trailer to cross the George Washington Bridge?
Wait, are you serious, Mike?
That's the toll. That's your Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. That's the toll for a 5-axle tractor trailer.
$124.
$124. If you have an easy pass, you're going to save $6. And if you go in the middle of the night, you'll save another $6. This is it. That's your bargain. And, they talk about raising the tolls, and they talk about, congestion pricing in New York, and the truckers are fed up because I used to deliver downtown Manhattan every week coming out of Chicago. And I'll tell you what, I refuse to do it anymore because I would not only have to pay the George Washington Bridge, but then I have the MTA, the Money Taking Authority. You have a toll on the Throgs Neck Bridge to get onto the Long Island. And, you got to get off the island, so you got to pay that toll again. It's crazy. It's
okay, hey, Mike,
highway robbery.
Mike, explain this to me. Well, one, every time I'm on the thruway, you always see trucks at the rest stops on the thruway. That's number one. But number two, the cost of the tolls, right? Isn't that paid by the companies that you're trucking for, or it's put into the price to cover it?
Well, that depends on if you're an independent owner-operator or if you're a company driver or if you're, it depends on who you're pulling for. But it comes out in the cost of the load. It goes into the cost of the goods.
Wow.
These people they're not going to lose money. Every time the toll goes up, every time the fuel goes up, everything, it's nuts. As truckers, we've tried to strike before just for the tolls in New York. We've tried to organize drivers to shut down the GW Bridge the whole way home from California one trip. Oh, we're going to shut down the GW Bridge. Never happened.
So wait,
nobody's got the cojones.
Mike, have you driven from California to New York before?
Yeah, about 100 times.
And
yes,
and how long does that take? And how do you keep your sanity?
Well, doing it alone, it takes about 72 hours. But doing it with a team, I had teams that were running for my company doing 54-hour terms.
Wow.
54 hours.
So you can make it from California to New York in 72 hours?
In 72 hours, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm just curious, out of that 72 hours, how much sleep will you get? Or do you try to get?
About 16 hours of that is sleeping.
About 16?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so a 3-day trip, but only 2 days of sleep. Oh,
yeah. It's actually about a 50-hour drive time.
Oh.
So,
now,
you
the rigs.
You can't do it these days. Yeah, I'm an old school driver. Yeah,
the rigs.
The logbook will go out the window every night.
So the rigs, are these modern day rigs where like you have a microwave in the cab between the compartment and
yes.
And they have a nice little bedroom in there for you, like a little room for you to move around and so on?
With windows. I have a cafe car sleeper. All right, it's got a table with 2 benches. The table drops down. The cushions become the mattress, and there's your bed.
Well, now I'm just curious.
And you got a window on each side.
Now I'm just curious. I guess I am being a bit nosy. Do you ever try and get your old lady to ride with you for company on these rides?
Absolutely. My old lady, my kids used to go with me all the time. And
wow.
My kids, they get suspended from school. I take them to see the country.
And how would the kids react being on the road that long? I guess while you're driving, they're in the back relaxing, watching TV in that cruise area, cabin area.
Absolutely, but they had to do a report on every state, on their impression of every state. And, of course, I drove only during the daytime so they could see the state where normally I would drive at night.
And at nighttime, were you sleeping in the cabin or were you at a hotel?
No, in the cab, in the sleeper.
And is there a shower in there, or you shower at the rest stops, or you don't shower?
No, you go to the truck stop to get fuel every day. You're in the truck stop. You get your coffee, you fill up, you get ready to go. You get a shower with a fill up. Anytime you purchase more than 50 gallons, the truck stop gives you a shower ticket.
Wow! So there's a shower facility right there at the rest stop gas station.
Multiple showers at every truck stop. Multiple showers, 5, 6, 7 showers, and I mean these are big walk-in showers, a nice bench you could sit down, a big sink where you can shave, and a big walk-in shower where you and your wife could actually go in and very comfortably shower.
Wow. I've always been curious in your lifestyles doing that. I do, Mike, before I let you go, one last question, and I hear you on Trump. You said you drive the Turnpike 6 days a week. That's what you said, I believe?
Six nights a week. Yes.
6 nights a week.
Maryland to Mamaroneck.
I can't drive it without being bored to death. How do you do it? I mean, where I'm like, why isn't this exit coming faster?
I'm going to tell you my secret, all right? My secret is audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
I've passed my exit. I don't know how many times. I go there every friggin' night. I've passed my exit. Listen to audiobooks.
And so the audiobooks really keep you entertained where you're not focusing as much on the boring aspect of the drive?
Exactly. Yep. And there's always talk radio. And I do self-help. I listen to, I do self-help books. I do Stephen King novels. I do a little bit of everything.
So do you do your own company, or you work for I won't ask you which company, or do you work for a company?
No, I haul freight. I'm an independent contractor,
Okay.
and I have a contract with a company up in Westchester County.
And Mike, I'm told you guys can do pretty well, 6 figures. Is that accurate?
Yes, but you know what? In the blink of an eye, just like that, it can be gone. You have to understand the risk that having that truck on the road is, the liability that really exists. You know, I've been involved. My company, the guy that drove for me, was involved in a fatal accident.
Oh boy!
And just in the blink of an eye, you can be out $1 million. Just like that.
Just like
fast.
that.
So it's a very very intensive. The variables are never ending,
and you've got to save your money.
And of course, you got to try to save money at every angle, but you have to, be safe. You can't sacrifice safety for money, because there's no amount of money in the world that's going to bring you back, just because you didn't want to change your tires.
One last question, Mike. How do you avoid, we know for years the mob used to do this to truckers, but how do you avoid the stick-up kids?
Just stay out of the bad areas, stay away from hookers, drugs, bars.
Yeah, that comes with it too, the
dives.
hookers. Right.
If you keep people, or you keep away from trouble, and hopefully trouble won't find you. It's as simple as that.
Mike, I appreciate you and your time. I hope that you call us from time to time and tell us about what life is like for being on the road as a tractor truck driver. Thank you so much for your patience.
Stories all night. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless Donald Trump.
Well, folks, Trucker Mike says they are as serious as can be. We will see what happens. Now, I want to turn to my colleague, Curtis Sliwa. Sliwa talked about how good, ratings-wise, the Dominic Carter Show and podcast is doing. Curtis is discussing here the true encounter of when he told me privately to stop being a TV host on the radio when I first started doing talk radio.
So I walk in on Dominic Carter. I've told this story before, but for many of you, you probably never heard it during the Brian Kilmeade show. And I said, Dominic, you got to knock this off. You either want to be a talk radio show host and give your opinion, or get the hell out of here. You're wasting your time. You sound like a TV guy trying to do radio, and most of them suck. So, Dominic, we had a come to Jesus meeting. And ever since then, he's been climbing the ladder. And I got to refer, you must listen to Dominic Carter. He's on 12 midnight to 1, right before the Mama Luke Frank Morano, The Other Side of Midnight, right after Rita Cosby. Sundays, you get a bonus hour, 11 to 1. This guy is on fire. I have described him because I've been listening to radio, talk radio, since I was about 14 years old. It was not popular to be listening to talk radio. It was thought back then you're an old fogey if you listen to talk radio. Hey, what, your grandpa, your grandma? So I'd have to hide that with my little Sony radio. The king of talk radio, Bob Grant, the best that ever existed, my mentor. He gave me his start. And I recognize if you're going to be good in this, you got to entertain first and foremost. You got to inform, but you got to let it, you got to talk the way people talk. Not the way politicians talk or TV hosts talk, especially in the news division. You got to let it fly. Here are some recent hors d'oeuvres of the Dominic Carter Show. He's come into his own. I have anointed him the Black Bob Grant of talk radio. This guy is soaring. Just listen to how he's talking about the migrants and the big video that you've been watching that's gone viral about how the migrants from Venezuela attacked the cops on Randall's Island in a tent. You've all seen that. Listen to Dominic just riffing on it.
Vanilla Ice, 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 baby. I love the sound of that. Ice, Ice, baby. Send Ice up to the shelter at Randall's Island. If it was up to me, shut the entire thing down. You're homeless effective tomorrow. All of you. since you're so anti-police and you've got the answers and you're freeloading on the taxpayers of the United States of America. Ice, ice, baby. They'll take care of the problem.
You hear that? You hear that? That's great talk radio. He's talking from the heart. He's talking from the gut. He's not processing it. Who am I going to offend? What am I going to call him? He said, hey, deport them. They attacked the cops. Did you see that video in Randall's Island? Did our mayor defend the cops? No. You know, it's the federal government's problem. No, it's their problem. There are guests. We're paying for them. And they start whooping on the cops who were there to actually remove a guy who was inside the tent who wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't even an illegal alien. He was snacking on one of the females because the Arrow security sucks and they won't let the cops go in there unless there's a 911 call. Here's another slice of a guy you got to listen to, Dominic Carter. Again, I can't say it enough. 12 to 1. In the morning before Frank Morano, but a special 2-hour bonus Sunday nights after the Animal Welfare Show featuring Nancy and yours truly, 11 to 1, and he's on fire.
There are some sick puppies in the world. And why do they call me? Why call Greg Kelly? Why do they call me? Call Brian Kilmeade. Call Curtis Lewa. Curtis will entertain you all day long.
That's true.
Frank might entertain you. Why do you call me? Take your medication. Don't call me. Take your medication.
That is so good. He's the Black Bob Grant. He's enraged. He's laughing. He's entertaining. He's friendly. He's knowledgeable. That's the way talk radio should be.
And boom. Thank you for that, Curtis Lewa. That is all the time we have for this episode. Thank you, folks, for joining us. You can catch me live on 77 WABC, weeknights at midnight, Sundays 11 p.m. Go check out the Dominic Carter merchandise at the 77 WABC store, from Dominic Carter t-shirts to hats and much more. Go to WABCRadiostore.com. You can also order my remarkable book on my life of overcoming obstacles that you can't even begin to imagine. At the 77 WABC store, it's titled No Mama's Boy. You can also get the book at my website, DominicCarterOnline.com, DominicCarterOnline.com, where the book will be signed by me. Also, follow me on YouTube, where you will see videos from me about this podcast and the radio show. YouTube.com/Dominic Carter. We will see you the next time. Dominic Carter, Red Apple Podcast, Talk Radio 77, WABC.
I gotta make it.
Dominic Carter socials on Twitter at Dominic TV and Facebook and Instagram. Dominic Carter TV. Email at dominic.carter@wabcradio.com. Until the next episode, be well. And as Dominic always says, stay positive. The glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter City Hall.